Hello and welcome back to Living in My Mind, episode 2. The thing that I'm going to do today is we all have two sides to us in many different situations, especially the public side and the private side. I'm going to show you what I go through and I believe other people go through, so you're not alone and you realize that there are other people like us. And here's how it goes. Yeah, today was a great day. Started out, had a great workout, went and had something to eat, got a lot of work done. Everything was going really, really well. Got a couple new clients. Everything that I've been working on is going well. The depression, the anxiety. I've got some good boundaries. I'm taking meds that the doctors gave me. I'm building boundaries with people. I'm doing the things that I know what someone has told me to do. I'm trying to implement them in my life. Now, implement them in my life is not easy, of course. It's difficult because I've been for years doing it one way. Now someone says, hey, here's a different way. So I'm open-minded to try what they tell me. And it's difficult. It's hard every day. And I figure I have to be transparent with you, because if I'm not transparent with you, then I'm lying to myself. And I've spent years lying to myself. I think many people in society lie to themselves on a day-to-day basis so they can get through the day. Good example for me. I always like to say how great things are, get it out of the way, then I'll go home and it's a whole different ball game. And so what I present sometimes to public, to family, to friends is because I don't want people to worry about me. I don't want people to think that I need them, because let's get real. Most of the time, most people hear what you have to say and it goes in one ear and out the other. I'm not that type of person. I take in what people tell me. I remember it. I could have met you 6 years ago and I'd still remember. I'm always trying to help with solutions. But for me personally, I found out that if I do these things and I do them slowly, if I do them with a purpose, I have an opportunity to really make changes in my life that I want, that I need, and that I know I'm in control of. It's very difficult when we're given control to other people and we're letting other people dictate how we feel. Many of us have jobs. Many of us get paid. Many of us do them legally. And at the same time, we still have this fear that maybe we're not going to get paid. Maybe someone didn't like me. Or you ever get a phone call and someone says to you, you need to get this done. And the first thing you go to is maybe a trauma when you were a child, or a trauma from a relationship. Oh my God, am I going to lose my job? Oh my God, are they not going to be in my life? Are they not going to be my friend? And that's myself creating that, which I've done. And at times I still do that. It has nothing to do with the other person. It's a fear and a trauma I've experienced in the past. And trauma is going to be with us forever, unless somebody comes up with some type of solution or miracle. It's how we handle it. Long-time issues that we've dealt with are going to create problems for us. We're going to continuously see or feel something from the past in a conversation or a situation we're in today. How did you deal with it then is how I look at it. How do I deal with it now is another way. And the way I deal with it now, because I've been working on myself, is I address it very kindly, very nurturing, with boundaries to someone. I'll invite them into and say, here's the situation, what do we do? I'll work with people. And so therefore that makes it easier for me to really do what I need to do. And then I'm calm. I can look at someone that I trust and believe what they say and know that they have my best interest. A lot of times I've had people not be my best interest. Good proper English right there. Not have my best interest at hand. And when that's something, I've always looked for, maybe the next person's going to do it. So therefore I put that other person in a category that they don't deserve to be in and they never have been in. But I'm the one that has to build up my low self-esteem, my self-hatred, my anger. And now I've been doing it. I've been doing really good with that. I don't beat the shit out of myself. I'll eat in public with people. I'll have a nice dinner. I'll actually have a dinner that doesn't look like 5 or 6 people are going to eat it, because it feels good to do that. When I've done a lot of meals where I have a large amount and I go to restaurants and people like me because they're going to make money off of it. If I order a small thing, people are like, are you okay? You feel okay? You got a cold? You got the flu? Something happened? And I'm like, no, I'm just not that hungry today. Well, I've punished myself for years of having just one meal a day. And it's not the healthiest thing. But now I'm having 2 meals, sometimes 3 meals, sometimes, I'll just go enjoy. And that's an important thing, that I enjoy what I do. Because one of my big things is loving to eat. But I don't like to be in a situation like in a work situation where you're going to talk about work. It's going to be boring and it's not going to be fun. Food to me is just fun. and it's nurturing, and I love it. So I've gotten really good with that, and I wanted to let you know, the help that I've gotten from therapists and from listening to people I respect, people I admire. And when I say admire someone, I don't admire somebody just because you have a college degree, a PhD, own a company. Those are situations you've accomplished and gotten yourself into, which are wonderful. I admire people for their actions and what they've accomplished. Because no matter what, they're the good and bad of all of us. We do good things, we do bad things. Whether or not you're willing to admit it to yourself is the big problem. If you continuously get away with something and then you get caught, what's the first thing you're going to do? I know what I would do is I just keep that lie up. Because sooner or later, if I've convinced myself, I'm going to convince you. And if you wear somebody else down like I used to, I'd wear you down to where you didn't know if you knew the truth. And then I would just continue living my life. And so things have gotten much better in that respect, that I'm now able to do things. I'm able to go out and I'm able to talk to people. Years ago, I had a phobia of just talking to people because I didn't know what they thought. I thought they were going to judge me because I judged myself, because I hated myself. Now, I love myself more than anything, to the point of arrogance, to the point of I don't care if you like me. I don't care if your friends like me, your family. I'm going to say what I need. There's been many consequences in my life that me opening up my mouth have lost me tremendous amounts of money and tremendous amounts of opportunity. And my mindset was, and still is to a degree this day, is, well, I got it once, I'll do it again. That's the true mindset of an addict. I myself deal with different people concerning different addiction, but people and men who deal with weight issues. I have different individuals I talk to. I have one individual who's lost over literally 800 pounds in the last 9 years. And his frame of mind is, well, I lost it once, I can do it again. Makes sense. But why do you keep putting yourself through that hell, physically and emotionally? And I've done that. I tell myself I'm going to be fine. I know what it takes to get better. I know what it takes, how to make things better for myself. And now I'm living what I tell other people what they need to do. And there's an hypocrisy in that, of course, when I've done things that I shouldn't do, or tell you one thing and I do another. And I think that that's okay to a degree, as long as it doesn't lead me down the path to where, hey, something's going to go wrong and I'm not going to be here. One of the things that keeps me alive on a day-to-day basis is knowing that I make a difference. I have a purpose every day. I can help people change their lives. I'm not a doctor or therapist, and you don't need to be. A lot of people think that doctors and therapists are wonderful, and they are, but it's about human experience. It's about living the life that you're teaching or working on, and that's important to me. Now, I used to do a lot of things and not worry about it. And now I have a conscience. I actually do, which is very hard at times, because part of me has that conscience and the other part of me does not care. There's a part of me that is cruel. I'll never lose that part. I don't need to act out on it, and everything is good. So I just wanted to share that part with you and let you understand that, things are good. It's a lot of work. I've been doing this for a long time, but the help that you've given me from listening to me, talking to me, sharing with me, and a big important thing that people have done for me nowadays in my life, they talk to me. When someone talks at me, I'm gone. I'm not there. When someone tells me, hey, you did it wrong, rather than saying, here's something else, because I used to always tell people, you're wrong, you did it wrong, you got to do it this way, you got to do it this way. And then I realized if you nurture someone and you show them and you help them, you're not only helping them, but you're helping yourself. You're making yourself better, because whatever you're teaching them, they're actually learning. Because again, it goes back to trauma. If someone's constantly told they're not good enough, no matter what, they're going to believe that. So I've perpetrated that belief in many people in my life, especially in the workforce, and made them think that they're not good enough. But the reality is they just needed to learn, because the truth, it's a stupid statement to many people, but we don't know what we don't know. And believe me, I don't know a hell of a lot of things. So I'm always trying to learn, always trying to make myself better, always trying to educate myself, so that if I sat down with a group of 10 people from 10 different backgrounds, 10 different colleges or no college, someone who works at 7-Eleven to someone who owns a major corporation, we can have fun talking. Not pretentious. I don't mean talking about how fashion is or about movies are or plays or music or books, which are all fun, but really life, really learning about life and what life has to offer. And so far I've realized that it's good. I'm doing really well. So I just want to share that with you and let you know how well things are doing on this end. That was one of the hardest things I ever had to do, is sit there and have that conversation, because while I'm having that conversation, my mind is going elsewhere. I don't want to share what I do behind the scenes because then I am a hypocrite. I'm a liar. I'm a manipulative person. I'm someone you don't want to trust. But the reality is, the only person who suffers from that is me. I have a hard time. When I talked about the food, I go home and I eat by myself. I always have reasons why I don't eat in public. I like to eat by myself. I like to enjoy what I want. And the bottom line is I will binge on food, all healthy food, but it doesn't matter. It's not good for me. When it comes to conversations with people, I'll tell them what they need. Inside my mind, I'm like, good, I don't want to have this conversation. I really don't give a fuck what's going on in your mind. You've never done a fucking thing for me. Why should I do anything for you? But then I realize it's business. But at the same time, I hate myself. I have this huge love-hate relationship when I'm dealing with people in public, or I'm dealing with people in business, or even in a private relationship. Because when you share something with somebody and they betray what you shared with them, or they don't listen to you, or they don't care. And they honestly, I had someone say to me once, I told the individual, I got to move on because you're not showing you care. And that person sent me a text. It's a healthy thing to do and a smart thing to do. Wow. After everything that happened, that's your fucking reply to me. And that just devastated me. And to this day, it still does. But you know what? You move on. You move forward. You move through it. So I do a lot of time by myself. I spend 80% of my time by myself so that people aren't going to find out the phony and fraud that I believe I am in my head. Actions prove different, but in my head. So I go through this every day. It's a nightmare. I've said it before. I'll always say, getting up in the morning, I've got to do something to get out of bed. And then I get out of bed and I do something, my day starts. But the crippling moments that I go through are just ridiculous. But they're caused by me because I don't trust myself enough. I don't trust myself enough to say to someone, I love you and I'd like you in my life. I'm afraid they're not going to love me back. I'm afraid they're going to laugh. Literally. Now, this is me thinking this. That person over there, that's a whole different person. I'm telling people what they need and what people like and making them feel good and letting them know that they gave me something. I don't get shit from 95% of the people I meet in life. I get it from myself. I'm not an educated man, book smart, but everything I know, I go research and I surround myself with amazing people. But you won't tell, in my mind, I won't be telling you that, I'm smart. I put myself down a lot. I always joke, and it's fun, you got to. I joke about the way I look. I joke about so many different things, or I tell people, you didn't mean it. And the reality is, if I don't trust you, for example, and this is something that goes in my head every day, and you give me a compliment, the first thing that goes in my head is, you lying motherfucker. Why would you lie to me? I know what's going on in my life. So if I have that insecurity, if I have that anger towards myself, and you just pile it on by being nice to me, it's so fucking psychotic at times that I don't know how to think. I don't know how to act. I sit there and I think these things over and over and over in my mind. And so therefore, I act them out. So to a certain group of people, I compartmentalize people in my life, the friends and everything. There are a few people I can tell anything and everything, and I know damn well they're never going to judge me. And they got no right. There are other people I know, if I shared what goes on in my head, they'd be nervous. They'd think there was something more wrong with me. But the reality is, what's wrong with me is whatever I believe is wrong with me. Any of us. If we believe we're damaged, we're fucking damaged. If we believe we're unlovable, we're unlovable. And our actions prove that. And I see that in myself, or my actions prove that to other people. Someone might want to come up and have a conversation with me, but if I look like I don't want you to come up, or I'll bite your head off or mutilate your child, just kidding on that one. If I do something like that, you're not going to come up to me. You're going to be intimidated, and I would be intimidated by someone who looks as if they don't want anybody to talk to them. So this shit that I talk about, when I'm by myself, the self-hatred, the anger, I go through it all the time. I get in my car. I thank God for radio. And they want to keep AM. Please keep AM radio because it's good for sports and news. It just, without that, I'd go nuts. It's like the music that we go to a movie or we watch on TV or we go to a concert. It gives you in a mood. My brain is my music. Whatever my brain is telling me is how I'm going to be. Laugh, cry, depress, get angry, get vindictive, plot against certain things, plot to hurt people. When I say hurt people, I don't mean from a physical point of view. I'm talking about just hurt people, whether it's verbally, business-wise, get even with people. Well, I think it's interesting. I've gotten even with numerous people in my life. The sad part is they don't know it was me. So where in the fuck in my mind is the justice? Where is the validation? Where is the hey, I fucked you because you fucked me? And this is what I think. And therefore, the one person I am out there is completely different when I'm by myself. And it's painful, it's sad, it's true, it's real, it's honest, and I work at it every day. Some of the great things that are going on are true, but I have to hold it together because I fear if I don't hold it together, there's no one there for me. I'm by myself. I live alone. I die in the middle of the night, someone's not going to find out where I'm at for another week and smell some rotten body. That's a fear every night. I go to bed every night hoping to God I wake up in the morning because I look forward to tomorrow, even if it's going to be dysfunctional, even if I know I have a confrontation. These are things that I look forward to. So I put out this persona, and then this is how I really am by myself. And that's sad, but it is who I am. And so I'm proud of myself that I'm able to understand that and look at myself and say, okay, here's what you need to work on. And I work on it 24/7. I have these fantastic dreams. So when I want something to be positive, I dream about it. And my dreams, I always have great dreams. I have nightmares almost every night. I wake up soaking wet. I wake up crying. I have these bizarre, crazy stories that go through my head. Now, they just come out of nowhere. But the reality is that's what I go through. But on the other end, I'm going to present myself different to you because I don't want you to worry. I don't want you to have to think that you have to help me because I do work with people. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, if I tell you what's going on in my mind, you're not going to want me. You're not going to need me. You're not going to take what I have. But the reality is what I have to offer lets you know you're not different, that there's someone like you. And I think the biggest hypocrisy is people like myself, and I believe many others, will present one way. Then when we're alone, this is what we go through. The anger, the hate, calling myself names, thinking, how fucking stupid are you, Dennis? You just said that to someone? How fucking stupid are you? Someone offered you something and your ego got in the way, or you overpriced yourself. And let's get real, you don't even know what the fuck you're worth. You know you're worth something, but it's not a dollar figure. The one thing I know that I'm worth is if you bring me into your life personally, or you bring me into a business, I will help make it better. Has nothing to do with my education, background, or what have you. I look for the things that you might not look for, and it works. And so for me, that's something I'm proud of. But then again, I'll go and I'll doubt myself. I'll get angry with myself. I'll look at myself and say that I don't deserve these things. A good example, during COVID, I stayed home. I went on a med. I mentioned this on a different platform. I gained a lot of weight. I never went around people. And it was great for me to blame COVID, great for me to blame the doctors, but I made the choice to eat what I ate. And the food wasn't the crazy part of it. The med helped me to gain the weight. And it was so devastating. Every night it was a nightmare. Every night I wanted to die. Every day when I went out in public, I'd wear a big, large coat. I'd wear a beanie over my head. I didn't want anybody to see me. But after that happened, different people in my life said we would have never known. So I created that. Just like anybody else, we create a lot of this shit in our head. We're so used to it. It's so ingrained in us. It's what we thrive on at times. We love chaos. I'm fucking exhausted with chaos in my life. But this is how I do things. And I just want to let you know that this is how many of us do it. And now the time's to change. Try to be the same person wherever you are, whoever you're with. It's not easy. It's doable. And I hope to God one day I can get there. There you go. I hope that this was understandable for those of you who are watching this and you realize that we are different people and it's okay, but sooner or later we have to find a solution for ourselves. If we're bouncing around in public one way, in private we're another, where's there a solution? It doesn't hurt to be honest. It's painful, but the honest part helps us get through all the negative. It actually can happen and it will. Please follow me. The message I just gave, it's real, it's honest, it's trustworthy. I have to do it as well. It's difficult, just like I said, but I truly believe it can be done. I know it can be done. It's just one moment at a time. I got to tell you, if you listen to what I have to say and just hear me, don't just listen, what I'm sharing is going to change your life. You can do it. I can help you, but the only person who's going to make it happen is you. Thank you.